Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Simply Monet here. I am an attorney in Michigan, and today we will be continuing in my series called Lawyer Life Unfiltered. Today I wanted to discuss with you guys some of the areas in which I feel that law schools are falling short. And while law schools are crucial for the development of future lawyers, there are some areas in which I feel they could improve on. And so in this video, I'll be discussing some of the key issues that are apparent in law schools today and how they can improve and be a bigger help for future lawyers. Let's get into this video. So if you guys don't know, I graduated in 2020 from Cooley Law School, and while I love my law school, I think law schools in general have some improvement that needs to be made with regard to how they train future lawyers. I myself took the bar exam. A lot of my friends took the bar exam. And so these are things that I've asked other attorneys as well. And we came up with some of these things that I feel are crucial to the advancement of future lawyers. So the first thing that I feel like law schools often get wrong is the overemphasis of theory over practice. Law schools often focus heavily on theoretical knowledge at the expense of practical skills. What do I mean by this? I was in law school. I took all of the classes. Some of the my courses included, criminal law, Civ Pro, contract law, and I feel like there is such an emphasis on theory, and so you can learn the law inside of your course. You can even do well in the class and still not have any practical knowledge or skills to be able to actually practice law in real life. So when you get out into the world and you begin to actually have to participate in the practice of law, which is ever growing and ever changing, it is very daunting on lawyers, young lawyers, old lawyers, whatever. It's just very daunting because you don't have any skills in that area. So you have all of this knowledge. You studied for the bar exam. It's taking you 3 years to do so, and you get out there and you still have no clue what you're doing. And there's no rule book. You can read a book on something that you haven't learned before. You can get a book on whatever you're into. So say you want to do Social Security disability. We didn't even discuss that in law school. You can get a book, you can read that book. You're still not going to have the knowledge of how to practice, where to go, the networking skills that are necessary, those things that are really crucial to you being able to successfully carry out the practice of law. Because I think law schools they have all of these exams, and we're expected to be in law school for a span of 3 years, which is entirely too long in my opinion. And you still don't have any practical skills. That's an issue. I think to make an improvement on this would be like I said, we're in law school for 3 years. That third year, I think, needs to be where we actually get out, where law schools allow attorneys to have a full year of practical experience, where we actually go and do those internships and actually have meaningful internships where you're not just getting coffee or doing menial work that doesn't mean a thing, but you're actually going to court, you're actually drafting legal documents, you're actually negotiating deals, the things that you actually have to do in the practice of law when you get out and you pass the bar, and you make it to where you were trying to get to your entire life. So I think that would be a necessary improvement for that full third year to be for practical learning and practical experience with real life attorneys. Additionally, I think the second improvement that law schools can make is that there needs to be more of a focus on the mental health and well-being of the students, your future lawyers that you're trying to send out into the world to practice law. There needs to be some type of mental health engagement for future attorneys, because it's just not talked about enough. There is, no real talk about the long hours and the stress that the law can have on individual. And don't get me wrong, I do agree that it's a privilege to be able to practice law, and it's a privilege to be in the room where you're able to get the knowledge and gain experience in actually helping people. But we do need to take care of ourselves as well. So there's no emphasis on self-care, and I think that also needs to be something that's implemented in law schools so that we can have not only talented lawyers, but lawyers that are taking care of themselves and are mentally well. Law schools don't provide the necessary mental wellness training. It can contribute to burnout, anxiety, depression, and PTSD, quite frankly. A lot of my friends, we discovered that we actually have PTSD from going to law school. And that's just something that's real life, because it's a lot. Not just, law school, but actually when you get into practice, it can be a lot and it can wear on your mental health. So another area that I think law schools need to improve on would be financial literacy and career planning. I don't think enough emphasis is put on these two topics particularly, and it can cause ruin in an attorney's life when they don't have the necessary information to be able to be financially literate and be able to navigate their career as a lawyer, what career they want to actually pursue, or what type of law rather that they want to pursue. Law schools often fail to provide adequate training on how to manage the financial burden of law school, including school debt. And this can affect one's ability to actually pursue an area of law that they have a passion for, or public interest law, because these things are not talked about. It can put a burden on the law student to secure a high-paying job. Obviously, the highest paying jobs are in areas like insurance, defense, and that might not be the area that you want to practice in, but it is the highest paying area, so that can promote choosing an area of law that you don't really have a passion for, just to be able to have financial stability. Pressure on an attorney to secure a high-paying job just to manage debt can lead to obvious poor work-life balance and financial stress, including poor job satisfaction. Because obviously, if you're just working for someone to secure enough money to pay your bills, then that doesn't have anything to do with passion or what you actually want to do. So I think that law schools need to implement courses on financial literacy, debt management, and diverse career paths, including those career paths that are not typical, such as landlord-tenant law, such as social media law. Nobody really talks about things that you can do outside of, big law. Where there's such an emphasis on big law, and that's really the only thing that I ever heard about while I was in law school, unfortunately. Lastly, another area in which law schools need to improve on is diversifying their classrooms and their staff. So When I was in law school, there were not that many of us, and by us I mean Black people, because I am a Black attorney, and there was very few of people who looked like me, and also I did have a couple of professors who I was able to relate to, but definitely not enough. I don't think 2 out of 400 is enough, guys. I really don't. So I think that we need to continue, law schools need to continue to work on diversifying their classrooms and curriculum, because if you don't have a diversity, which my school did do, were better off than some of the other law schools that I heard about. But even so, if you don't have diversity in the classroom, that really limits the perspectives that can be offered in one's classroom and can leave certain students feeling left out or unsupported. I think there should be some initiatives to create diversity in the classroom. We need to hire more African American teachers, or teachers within the marginalized groups, so that we can help, the students to feel more included and more supported in the law. If you see more people like you, then you're more likely to believe that you can do it. If you don't, then it can be, just not beneficial to creating more diversity within the law and the legal field in general. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what issues you think that law schools need to improve on, and so we can have a conversation in the comments. I always try to respond to you guys when you comment. In the meantime, you know what it is. It's XOXO Gossip Girl.